now tonight's news at 10.
This is Channel 6 News. Tonight, the greatest storm in modern British history has hit England today, devastating the southern and eastern coastlines. See how the gale force wind destroyed the morning tranquility, destroying homes, cars, and killing 13 people, a number which could rise this week. In other news, the Gulf hostilities continue. More on that later. And a girl has fallen down a well in Dorset, but she's okay. And now to the presenter tonight, Edward McCosh.
This street is one of many that was affected by the storm, with minor damage to things like bins and cars and windows. This is a house in Kent. Many have been left homeless in this area. This was a truly uncomfortable night for so many in Britain. But can the BBC and Met Office predict this next time round? It was a severely turbulent night all around England. With winds gusting at up to 100 miles per hour, it caused a massive 15 million trees to be felled. This caused severe damage to roads, railway lines and buildings, and 30,000 people reported boats being destroyed off the coasts. We have here with us today a weather expert, Mr. Tommy Preston.
Hi.
So, Mr. Preston, is it true that so many roads and railway lines were destroyed?
Yes.
And is it true to say that the winds went up to force 11, so close to being a fully blown hurricane?
It is.
And the highest speed record before it was 75 knots, wasn't it?
Yes.
And this was equals at some point, was it?
Maybe.
No, it's okay. It's okay. But this must be the greatest storm ever since records began. So that's conclusive proof of some of the sheer devastation that's hit Britain today. This is Bob Smith for Channel.
Thanks for that, Ed. I have with me a proper weather expert, not just a cameraman pretending to be one, Tommy. So, Mrs. Blue Woman, what is a depression and what is an anticyclone? I am a little confused.
Depressions, sometimes called mid-latitude cyclones, are areas of low pressure located between 30° and 60° latitude. Depressions develop when warm air from the subtropics meets cold air from the polar regions. There is a Favorite meeting place in the mid-Atlantic for cold polar air and warm subtropical air. Depressions usually have well-defined warm and cold fronts, as the warm air is forced to rise above the cold air. Fronts and depressions have a birth, lifetime and death, and according to the stage at which they are encountered, so does the weather intensity vary. An anticyclone is a large atmospheric circulation system with the wind flowing clockwise within it in the northern hemisphere and counterclockwise in the southern hemisphere. It is associated with relatively high pressure at the surface and in the lower troposphere. And the cyclones usually form when an air mass is cooled over a cool ocean surface, or over land during the fall, winter, or spring when little sunlight is available. The cooling causes the air mass to shrink vertically, becoming slightly thinner. This shrinkage then causes surrounding air in the upper troposphere to fill up the extra space. The added weight of the extra air causes higher pressure at the surface. The higher pressure air at the surface then tries to flow outward toward lower pressure, but as it does, the rotation of the Earth turns the wind to the right, in the northern hemisphere, to the left in the southern hemisphere, resulting in the clockwise wind flow around the high pressure.